This is a great practice to take with you, say on holiday, or if you don't have a lot of time. So let's begin. So if you remember last week, there are 5 Tibetan rites. They're about 2,500 years old, and they're performed in a certain order: whirling, leg lifts, camel or camel reaching, tabletops, and then the 2 dogs. And you do 7, 14 or 21 ideally, but you could do multiples of 3. But today we're going to have a go at doing 21. But if you find that's too much, then just do less than me and try to keep the same number that you pick for each thing the same. So if you choose to do 7 today, just do 7 slowly, or 14. I'm going for 21. It depends on your fitness level. So pick what's right for you. Listen to your bodies, listen to the feedback. If anything hurts or doesn't feel right, or if you get too dizzy with the spinning and whirling, then please stop. So starting with our whirling and spinning. Take the arms to parallel to the earth, palms facing down. So we're going to spin around. You're going to send your drishti to your right middle finger, and you keep your gaze there. So keep your focus point, your gaze point there. Breathing nice and steadily and even. Start to really pay attention to the breath. And start to really get that feedback from the body and notice how the body feels. So starting to spin. So nice, keep your feet hip distance apart. Now if you need to spot to the wall or point at the room as you're going around, do that as well. But try to keep your drishti on that right middle finger. Try to get a nice rhythm going with the feet. If you get super duper dizzy, then slow it down a little bit more. So that's 7. So keep the breath nice and steady and even, in and out through the nose. Might start to feel dizzy now, but just stick with it if you can. So this is 14, 7 more to go. Ooh, starting to feel dizzy. Just keep with it. Trust yourself. So another 3. Just 2 more revolutions. Make this one your last one coming up now. And stop. Take your hands to your heart center in prayer. And take your drishti to a spot on the floor. Notice how the body feels. So we're taking 5 deep breaths in and out here. Now if you feel okay, then close the eyes. Using that ujjayi sounding whispering breath in the back of the throat. Energize your breath. Feel the heart beating strong. Feeling the energy pumping around the body, your prana, your life force. Let's take another deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Empty the breath completely. And slowly open up the eyes. Coming to lay down on your mats. So take your time, do not rush. Nice and slowly coming down onto the floor. So rolling down, use your hands behind the knees. So create that nice C curve in the spine, arching the back. Just roll down nice and gently. If you feel the hug into knees to chest works right now, then hug the knees into chest. A little rock and roll side to side. So we're going to extend the legs. You can flex or point the toes, that's up to you. I'm just going to demonstrate what we're going to do. We're going to create a J shape with the body as you inhale. You're going to lift the shoulders off and the arms off. So you're going to reach the fingertips away, squeezing to the belly and lifting the legs. Then you exhale to come down. So we're going to do that 21 times. So take a nice couple of breaths in and out. Take a breath in. Exhale. And then inhale, begin. So that's 1. 2. Squeeze and lift strongly into the belly. 3. So looking up to the sky. Keeping the neck long. 4. 5. Fully engage the thighs. 6. 7. 8. 9. So exhale to lower. 10. Inhale. Exhale. I think this is 14. 7 more to go. Feel the heat. Building in your belly. Firing up your Ajna, your inner belly fire. So a little squeeze as you lift, squeeze. Let's do another 3. Last one. And lower the legs down with control. Bending at the heels, bending at the knees. Take the arms wide. Just take a little window wiper of the legs side to side. Take your hands around your knees, hug the knees in tight. Pull your head up towards your knees, touch your knees with your nose. And then take a little rock and roll. Then flipping ourselves over. Just take a little balasana, child's pose. So you can have the knees wide if that feels better. And reaching the arms forwards. Or if you prefer, reach the arms back. Think of them. I enjoy the arms forwards just to relax into the shoulders and to the upper back. Your choice. 5 deep breaths. So really taking the focus and attention inwards. On your next breath in, coming up nice and slowly. onto the knees. Your knees are hip distance apart. Your feet are parallel, running parallel with the legs, so they're not turning in or out. So the shins pointing directly behind. Two choices here for the hands. Taking the hands alongside the body. So you're going to be reaching back on a breath in, or sending the hands into the lower back if that feels like you can drive the hips forwards as you open the chest looking up, and then exhale to crunch it forwards. So you're going to inhale into your camel, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. If it's not possible for you for the hands to the side, take your hands by the sides and do this option. So we're going to take 21 of those. So it's the breath into the camel, then the exhale to forward fold, arching the spine the other way. So it's like a little cat-cow spine action happening. Fully engage into your bandhas. So Mula Bandha, squeeze and lift. Uddiyana Bandha, and really work with the breath. So beginning on an exhale, empty the lungs. Big breath in, into your number one camel. Exhale, reaching forwards. Inhale. Exhale. Work in your own time, if that feels good. Don't have to work with my pace. Follow your rhythm, your pace of breath. Keeping count. Feel that articulation through the spine as you open up the chest, lifting the heart center. So that's 7. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drive the hips forward, squeeze into the glutes and thighs. Lifting your drishti to the sky as you take your camel. So that's number 14 coming up. 7 more to go. So keep the breath nice and steady with the movement. So we're joining the breath, the body, and the mind together. I've got number 3 to go. See if you can just open the chest that little bit more, drive the hips forwards, a little bit more, open up, looking up, inhaling. Exhale, forward fold. So my last one. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then resting in child's pose. Sending the arms back. Roll the shoulders forwards. Open across that space between the shoulder blades. 5 deep breaths in and out. Notice the sensations in the body. Notice the openness in the front of the body into the heart. The Anahata chakra. So this practice works with unifying all of the chakras together. So flipping it yourselves over onto your back. Well, not onto your back actually, onto your bottoms. This next exercise is the tabletop. So again, using your breath to guide you. Feel the space opening up as you breathe in. So starting here, you press into the hands. So my fingertips are facing forwards, driving into the heels of the hands. As you take your breath in, your feet are hip distance apart, toes facing forward, so fingertips facing forwards as well. So everything facing the top of your mat. As you breathe in, you drive the hips up. Open across the shoulders, drive up, look up to the sky. That's your inhale. Exhale, coming down. And you can send the hips back, flex the feet, and keeping the hips lifted if that's available to you. Otherwise, the hips drop down. So this is your start point, or this is your start point, where you actually keep the hips and bottom completely elevated off the floor. So you can mix that up as you feel you warming up into it. Have a few of them where you literally are, it's like a little L sit, like they do in gymnastics. So are you ready? We're going to take 21 of these. So remember, we take a breath in and out to prepare. Exhale. Inhale, begin. So inhale, dropping onto the feet, lifting the hips up. Look up to the sky. Exhale. Sending the hips back between the hands. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, L sit. Dandasana. So working with the bandhas, the belly lifts. Squeeze into the belly. Squeeze into Mula Bandha. Number 7 coming up. If you need to stop, then please stop. But keep going if you can. Lift those hips, squeeze into the glutes and thighs. This is very strong. Across the shoulders, into the legs. Squeeze and lift into the belly. If you're keeping the hips elevated off the ground for the whole movement. Feel that pulse in the body, the energy, the heat. Seven more to go. Lift the gaze as you lift up, inhaling. Two more to go. Last one. And release the hands. Give the hands a shake out nice and gently, because that's a lot of work, a lot of weight into the wrists. So rotate into the wrists. And then bend into the knees. Wrap your arms around your knees. Grow the spine nice and tall. So hugging into the legs, just straightening up the back. Just noticing the sensations that arise in the body. Taking our 5 deep breaths here. Two more. Feeling that heat generating. You might be sweating by now. I am. That's all good. So we're detoxifying the body, firing up our digestive system for the day. So this is amazing to do. Obviously, before you've eaten any yoga practice, always try to do it on an empty stomach. It's not good when you've just eaten. So try to do it on a fasted stomach in the morning. It's really best. So down dog, the 2 dogs. 2 dogs being up dog and down dog. So we start in downward facing dog. So if you feel you need to do a few more rotations, let's just do those in the wrist maybe, because we're going to come back onto the hands. And those tabletops are very, very strong. There's a lot of compression into the wrist joints. So do take care. If it doesn't feel good, then there's an option always with downward facing dog to roll up a mat, if you have a spare mat or a towel, and place that underneath. I'll just show you quickly. Underneath the hands. So what's essentially doing is just taking out the extreme flexion out of the wrists. So if you're finding that's you're having a bit of a problem with downward facing dog, that's quite good. So into downward facing dog. So we start just to position ourselves in tabletop. We're taking the hands slightly further forward, then hands under shoulders. Taking the pointer finger or the middle finger to face the top of your mat. Spread the fingers wide and have, if you can, have the thumb higher up, just a fraction than the little finger, because we're going to spin the inner creases of the elbows forwards, opening up the chest and rotating the arms externally away from each other. Tuck the toes. Take a big breath in, and lifting yourself up into downward facing dog. So just let us pedal out the legs first before we begin. So make your dog a nice long downward facing dog, quite a long one, because we are coming into up dog, down dog. So as we take our downward facing dog, just take the feet back a little bit more, because we're not trying to reach the heels down to the earth or anything like that. But we are having the hands correctly placed. Spreading the fingers wide, openness across the chest and shoulders. So taking the shoulders away from the ears. So it's like, imagine you try to slide your shoulder blades apart. Feel that lovely openness across the chest. Squeeze and lift into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. So drawing your navel to spine and squeezing into the perineum, the pelvic floor. Muscles that stop us from having a pee. So they need to be all switched on here. So just demonstrating, coming into upward facing dog. Gonna ripple the chest forwards. These are the options. Drop the knees, chest, chin, and coming into upward facing dog. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is drop the knees a little bit sooner and taking a little bit of a knees, chest, chin option, and then sending the hips back. So find your option for the downward facing dog, upward facing dog. Otherwise it's chest forwards. It's more like chaturanga to down dog. So you're taking the chest forwards. It's almost like you're taking a plank with the hips. So there's a point there where you're nearly at a plank, and then you're dropping the hips down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drawing navel to spine. So there's a transition this way. So it's like a rippling action, like this. Or if that's not feeling good for you, then drop to the knees, chest, chin, upward facing dog. And then through Vidhalasana, tuck the toes down, dog. So there's two transitions. One is slightly less into the shoulders, so you choose. Listen to your body and its feedback. So take a nice deep breath in, big breath out. Taking our two dogs 21 times. Just flowing with the breath. So down dog is your inhale. So inhale, down dog. Exhale. Upward dog, look up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Drive those hips back, squeeze navel to spine. Drishti to navel, chin to chest as you come into your downward facing dog. Exhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, down dog. Drive the hips forwards. Drive into the hands, squeeze navel to spine. Down dog, inhale. Feel the articulation of the body moving and synchronizing with the breath. So focus on your drishti moving to your navel in down dog, then following yourself through as you take your gaze up to the sky as you reach the top of your point, up dog. Keeping the shoulders squeezed together. Shoulder blades, so open the chest in your upward facing dog. This is 14. Seven more to go. Two left. Make this your last one. And dropping to the knees. Reaching the arms forwards. Let's take a puppy dog pose. So keeping the hips high, stacking over the knees. Reach the arms forwards. Reaching the forearms down to the ground. Armpits reach towards the earth, chin towards the floor. If it feels okay for your neck, then look between the hands. Five deep breaths. Keep navel lifted to spine, keep belly engaged. Last deep breath in and out. Inhale, slowly coming up and getting yourself into a cross-legged seated position. I'm going to sit on a cushion. So sit on a block, make yourselves comfortable. So this should be a comfortable seat. Should be no tension in the body anywhere. So checking in on the body, how it feels after your 5 movements that we've just done. So stacking the spine nice and tall, sitting tall. So checking in that you have your shoulders over your hips, the crown of the head stacking over the center of the pelvis. Feel as though you're being pulled by a thread from the top of the head up to the sky. So feel that lift and lengthening. Engage in Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Openness across the chest. Taking the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take a little pranayama here, so some alternate nostril breathing, but done slightly differently to we usually do. So we're not going to use only the right hand, we're going to use the right hand and the left hand. But starting with the right hand, open your palm up. Take your thumb to the base of the middle finger and then curl the fingers over the thumb. So it's like if you're forming a fist. So do that with both hands so the thumb is curled in. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. Imagine pulling the energy up through your chakras. Exhale. Then inhale. Taking your left hand out to the side and your right hand in towards the armpit area. Not underneath, but just towards the armpit. Then release the left hand and using your pointer finger, you're going to block alternate nostrils. So start with blocking the right side. Take a breath out through the left, closing the eyes. So breathing out through the left, in through the left. Switch sides, so block the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Block the right nostril. Exhale left. Inhale left. Block the left nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right. Block the right nostril. Now keep going with that until you've done about, let's say about 10 on each nostril. Replace the thumb into the base of the middle finger, Curl the fingers back down there on the left hand and switch sides. So taking your left fist towards your right armpit, reach the right arm to the side and then release the hand. Then using your right pointer finger to block your right nostril. So you're going to exhale left, inhale left, switch sides. So take your 10 rounds. Last round. Release the hands onto the knees, palms facing up, and then touching the pointer finger and the thumb together. So surrendering your consciousness, your individual consciousness to universal consciousness. Opening yourself up so the palms are gently facing upwards. Feel the openness across the chest, wideness across the chest. Gentle engagement of Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And staying with the Ujjayi sounding breath now. We're going to breathe in for 4. Hold the breath at the top and exhale for 4. Hold the breath. Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale for 4. Hold. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. 2 more of those in your time. Last 2. Finishing on an exhale. And now allow the breath just to flow in and out in its own natural rhythm, without forcing. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. And taking this moment now, in this present moment, to feel yourself fully present, fully conscious, fully aware. And setting ourselves a positive intention for the day, a sankalpa or resolve. So that resolve really should resonate deeply with you. And it's not something you should share with anyone else. This is something that's deeply personal to you. Make it very definite. Make it very clear. See it and feel it. And then repeating it silently to your inner mind's eye 3 times. In the present tense, I am. Now keeping the eyes closed. Keeping the eyes closed, send your gaze towards that space between the eyebrows. Maybe picturing a color there. If you can see that color, really focus on that color. And just hear the sounds of my singing bowl. So these are vibrations, and feel their positive vibrations. Keep focusing on that space between the eyebrows. Your third eye chakra. Bring your hands together, consciously joining left hand, right hand together. Your palms to touch, your thumbs to touch, your fingertips to touch. Drawing your hands to your heart center. Let's close our practice with a single Om. So take a nice deep breath in. So bowing your head down towards your heart center. Honoring yourself, honoring your practice. Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Have a wonderful Saturday. And take this practice with you wherever you go. It's really simple, very effective, and I hope you feel the energy lifted in your body and fired up for your day. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Bye.